Well, hello, Raiders. I guess I can start a little bit early. I glanced over and saw like a ton of stuff happening in chat and was like, oh no, bots have broken through my spam filter. But welcome. Hope your stream went well. We'll just start a little early. I'm mostly ready. Also, I need to update my socks command. Yeah, now there's bots. But yeah, we are working on burner designs today. So this is a long-running project that I have for Factorio. I've just always had an interest in burner stuff, like, for years. But this is a run where I want to get every achievement. But I only use burner inserters. I guess every achievement by itself isn't that bad. No pressure, just wanted to end and even trying to raid you for a week. Well, glad it finally worked out. But yeah, I mean, I usually only do like a 5-minute warning anyway. The past couple days I had it set to 10, so I actually was meaning to decrease it anyway, so it all works out. And now I got a reminder that it doesn't need to be a 10-minute timer anymore. But yeah, so burner designing is awful. Let's just put it that way. This is the starter base. It's actually more interesting if I show the main base for now. But the gist of it is Factorio has like 39 achievements or something, and the goal of this run is to get it done in one go. So there is an actual speedrun for this using, no limitations, where it's done in it's down to like 4 hours and 18 minutes or something. It's wild. They get it very fast. This one will probably be a video. I'm not sure if this run will be a video. I did one without blueprints that I'm working on right now. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll make the video out of the original run and then just say like, hey, I'm still working on it. Just because the blueprint one I don't think will make as interesting of a video by itself. I think the blind run will be better for that. But then also be like, yo, I'm still working on this. Yeah, it's a very large base. So for reference, this is about as large as the actual base, which is this one. So this is I have to stay in map view or it doesn't like it. So this is the size of the 100% base that uses, electricity. I mean, technically we use electricity, we just use very little of it. But this is the main base. And it's, obviously you can see it's roughly the same size. But what I'm doing is producing like a third as much. So, yeah. That's the rough part. The green circle one needs a mega base too. Yeah, exactly. So that's where the burner inserters are actually the worst. So like burner inserters for the starter base, honestly not terrible. Obviously, same amount of production or a third of the production in the same size isn't fantastic. But yeah, it's not great, but the main thing is we run into performance issues a lot quicker because burner inserters are so bad. So the actual run peaks at about like, I think they get up to like 15 million green chips per hour towards the end. It's only for like 10 minutes, but I'm pretty sure they get up there. We're going to be performance bottlenecked at about 7 million max, but probably less. And our start time is also a lot higher for our outposts. So this doesn't have any of the outposts in it. This is the base to get us 3 science per minute, with about 3 science per minute on average for about 8 hours. And then this top section makes everything we need for the outposting. And yeah, people do Lazy Bastard in 4 hours. Honestly, Lazy Bastard isn't that bad, especially with blueprints, because you don't have to think too hard about having them all. I think the number I've heard is it adds about like 30... I think it only adds about 30 minutes to the run, which isn't, like, obviously it would be nice to not have to worry about that, but it's not as big of a time loss as you'd expect, as long as you have a base well planned out around it. Like, as long as your base has conveyors and inserters and everything you need for them all in a spot that's easy to get to, it works out pretty well. Let's see, finalized outpost. Yeah, if you don't have any experience speedrunning the game, it's going to add a lot more. And just speedrunning the game in general. Beating the game easily can take more than 8 hours. But this is, so this is their outpost, which I don't really have a great estimate, but I want to say this is probably, gosh, that's so many furnaces. I think this is about 3 times the production of our outpost. And then this is our outpost, which if we look at entity count, we have 1,800 inserters to their 1,400, or, well, no, to their 1,800, which sounds great, except when you realize that this produces probably half. Well, we'll say half. I think it's about half, because the assembler count is the same, but the furnace count is half, so we're furnace limited. Yeah. Okay, so this is our outpost. We do have a lot of direct feeding that saves a lot on performance. It can only run for about 4 hours, so I think we actually need a second outpost that has an extension to make it run longer. Since each chest is about 2 hours of runtime, I think at the first 5 or so outposts need to run for about 6 hours. But yeah, this is the main goal. We need to get, I think, 15 to 20 of these is the goal. Each one is about 300k science per minute. It's gonna be a long run. The goal is about 12 to 16 hours is what I've been saying. We'll see how realistic that is. It won't be much. If it's faster than that, it won't be much faster. I think 16 is pretty close to the upper end, though. Unless things go terribly wrong with my blueprints. But yeah, it's what I've been working on for a long time. And super excited for it. And I also, I do need to start the video. I have some of a script written, but I have not been working too hard on that the past month. But I don't know, I've been a lot more motivated this week. I might start it, like actually start the script, as opposed to just, bullet points. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. Super excited for it. We do that like 2 to 4 days a week. And then we do meme run stuff on Mondays that are not related to it, so that way I don't go completely crazy doing just burner designs. This is the wrong save. Yeah, this is the wrong save. This is the main save, but this isn't one I need to edit right now. Last time we finished up all this all this red belt production, which turns out to be incredibly expensive. Did we actually finish it? Okay, we did. Right? We have red undergrounds, red belts, red splitters, regular splitters, yellow undergrounds, yellow belt, and assorted junk. Okay, so that is everything we need for the outpost. So yeah, we are good to start on the starter base, which I still have not figured out. That is this one. It's its own save because I needed actual patches. And I don't know how to use this mod with actual patches. I use a mod called Staged Blueprint Planning, which was specifically designed for 100% speedrun designing. So even though this one's a joke run, it's still very useful. Okay, so what did we get to last time? Okay, we got my row of coal drills, and then we'll rotate them and make them fully automated. And then, okay, so I am leaning towards doing actual automation. Interesting. You started trying the speedrun recently, got down to about 4 hours from the Nephrem's Guide, haven't decided if you're going to learn the fast way yet. You can get really far with the Nephrem's Guide. I think someone got the Nephrem's Guide down to about 215 with their own modifications, but the guide itself can get you down to about 230. So you can definitely get a lot more without learning the fast way. Learning the fast way takes a lot of memorization and a very specific crafting queue, but that one can get you to. Oh, if you just want sub 3, yeah, there's no reason to learn the. If you just want sub 3, you don't necessarily need to use the other one. You won't gain a ton from it, at least if that's your goal. Because that base is for, well, originally it was designed, I think, for like 150. It's crazy that it's down to like 122 these days. But yeah, you can definitely get there with Nephrem's Guide. Especially if you like get like a general crafting order and don't have to think. Like, the less you have to reference the slides, the easier it will be. Did I close my door? I did close my door. For some reason, my door fell open. Okay, so starter base. This is, I think, enough. Actually, is it enough? It's hard to say because everything's inserter limited. So these run at 60% speed. So this would use 4 iron per second, roughly. Actually, let's look at all of them. They use a total of 10 iron per second. This produces 15. So even if these are running full speed, we have too many. Huh. Very surprising, actually. We have too much iron production. It's fixable. It's definitely fixable, and it's something we should fix, but... Yeah, this is an ambitious size. Wait, never mind. Sorry, this is 7. I was thinking of the full length of the belt. So this is a little bit over 7.5. Probably, we can probably say it's 8, 8.5. If I drop ore in it, I can get an actual number without having to think. 5, wait. What? Oh, wait, burner inserter. There we go. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Hello, how are the burners doing? Well, I was looking at the wrong units, so they're doing okay. Okay, so this is 8.75. And now that it gives me the real number, it's 18.7. That makes way more sense. 18.75 times... And then I set a factor of 0.6, so 11. Okay, this actually is not enough iron then. So we could extend it, or we can just accept it. Honestly, I think if we hand feed it iron every now and again, that will make up for it. Yeah, we have not gone and got too much done today, because we just started like 10 minutes ago or so. I was helping my dad install a new CPU, so I was a bit delayed. Here to lurk and grab a bite. All right, enjoy your food, and thanks for the luck. But yeah, this looks okay. I want this to be a little longer. I don't think it's necessary, though. How much does this produce? 36 times 0.25. Do I have the ratio right? We can actually do one more furnace. Yeah, we can do one more furnace. Wait, these furnaces don't do anything. This doesn't go towards iron at all. So we need to shift it over, realistically, probably here. Okay, so what do we do with this dead space? I guess having the research be earlier is fine, especially since they use so few gears. And then I guess we could just do nothing with this space. Let's see, can we put these later? I guess it doesn't matter where those go. It's not really going to save on anything. These could go here. How much would hand fitting help with steam engines? Honestly, yeah, we could do partially automated steam engines. Oh wait, we need pipes. Why don't we have pipes on here? Okay, so something like this could be decent. Actually, I think this uses a lot more space than it's worth. Yeah, I can't imagine this is worth it. Especially since now it's using a lot more iron. But we're inserter limited, so honestly, I don't even know. These values are completely useless. I think I need to count the inserters, actually. So let's say we can use a maximum of 29 times 0.6 minus 5. So that's 24. Now that's still like 12 iron per second if they all run. But yeah, realistically, I don't think this is gonna happen. We don't need a ton of these. I think we can scale down the base. We can either scale down the base or we hand feed iron, because we will also have this row of iron to make up the difference. So I don't think we're hurting for anything. I really don't think automated steam engines is worth it, though. Will this work? Actually, yeah, that does work there. Yeah, the belt, as long as the belt doesn't back up, we're fine. Okay, and that gives me this space for, I guess, just hand feeding whatever I need. Which will probably be pipes, maybe a couple pipes. Oh, we also need undergrounds. Because the thing is, I don't really want to have to change recipes that often. We definitely don't need a ton of circuits. I think this is all we really need. Oh, and splitters. I guess we can change recipes, but if I have an assembly machine for everything, it doesn't add that much time, but it makes it that I don't have to think as much, which is very nice. So technically, I think this is everything I need to start. Oh, and actually, stone furnaces are different. Stone furnaces are direct fed, so I probably don't need an assembling machine here. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh wait, hold on. He's asking about the computer. Give me one sec. The fans aren't turning on. Okay. Sorry about that. The fans were not turning on, so we had to make sure they're okay. And they'll probably be okay. I mean, worst case scenario, the computer just shuts off. Like, it's not like things get harmed by poor cooling these days. At least not like briefly, like, unless you like forced it to run at like 100 degrees forever. But yeah, if the fan is not working properly, I imagine honestly passive cooling might keep it on with just idling. But yeah, this looks all right. Okay, so now we need to go to the actual main base because I don't really see much improvement we could have here. Because I really do like this. This looks a lot cleaner than I thought it would be. It's not terribly expensive, and it's a lot less micro than. Well, is it? That's the thing. I don't know if it is less micro. I guess the real thing it is more balanced. So while it's not micro, while it doesn't have micro protection, it does have auto balancing with the fact that things are on the belt, which I do like. I like that a lot. It's not great, but yeah. So we have slightly cheaper build or slightly more balanced builds. I think they both have benefits, but I don't think the benefit is that significant either way, because this is honestly, this versus this is like a couple minutes. Completely committed to even burning a PC to run Factorio. Exactly. It wouldn't be a burner run if we weren't burnering a computer, right? That's what it's all about. Gosh, honestly, my computer is probably. I am terrified to know what my fans are going to be screaming at me during the end of during the end of this run, because I think this will be the first time we have my computer running like full speed for like 3 hours, other than like random stress tests. But yeah, I'll be recording and I'll be just maximizing. Pretty well, maybe not fully maximizing, but we'll probably be using like 60% of the CPU. Uh, so it's gonna be working hard towards the end of the run. Let's see, what about this design? This was the old idea. This one has a lot of hand feeding. Okay, I don't love this one. So we have lots of hand feeding, medium amount of hand feeding, slightly less hand feeding just because there's less burner drills. I guess the actual speedrun has weird things where they have to rotate the inserters. If they can do it, I can do it in a joke run. Okay, and then this is the outpost. I have no idea why that's in this save. Is there anything else I'm missing? What all do you need to start? Oh, chests. Which, honestly, I could use wooden or iron. They're both... honestly, iron's pretty cheap, and not having to worry about wooden is pretty nice. And then, let's see. Anything else we're missing? Oh, well, okay, technically I am missing... Oh, wait, I'm not missing... Well, okay, I am technically missing labs and offshore pumps. But you need those to launch. So this one you don't build an assembling machine because you have to get it to research automation. I will need lab assembler to get the last two labs. What else is there? We don't need ammo or anything, so that's nice. Chest, power poles. Which honestly, power poles could be fed with a chest. They'll almost be self-feeding. Honestly, if we could do burner inserters, if they could burn power poles still, I think the world would be pretty nice. Because then they could self-feed. On patch-based decisions, you're pretty sure I meant regretting certain life decisions? Yeah, they're pretty close. Yeah, it's just a minor typo. But yeah, you're right. That's what I actually meant. Okay, so on patch looks alright. That one we just have to like do a test. Maybe what day is it? Is today Saturday? Yeah, today's Saturday. Oh wait, this week's weird. I was gonna say maybe Tuesday we can do a practice run up to, not automation, a little past automation, just for like the first 30 minutes. Because for the starter base, we just need to test. We just need to test it to see how I like it. There's not much theory crafting we can do there because it really just comes down to how I think it feels. So we might do both options and just see which one I prefer. And I was gonna say we could do that Tuesday, but since I'm not streaming Monday, I have another appointment. That means we wouldn't have me run Monday if I did this on Tuesday. So we're doing another Terrible Time Tuesday instead of burner practice. But then the next burner stream, we will spend it. The next burner stream we will spend it practicing the early base, I think. And now, for the first time ever, we get to load the very old stages. Because we need to figure out our mall, which is interesting. What do we have so far? Right now we have a green chip and a gear belt. Okay, so this is green chip and gears. Which means this doesn't get any circuits at all. So that's not ideal. Should they be flipped? Let's see. We have a couple of options here, actually. I feel like they should just be flipped. What does this do? This sends green chips up to... No, this sends gears up to red chips. Okay, so I clearly intended it to look like that. But this needs gears, and this needs gears and green chips, and it has neither of those. Also, these don't have a great balance. Should I use splitters? I could do a splitter strats. Although splitter strats don't work with the double-sided maul. So I think our best bet is to actually have... Let's see. I feel like iron should be on the top, and then this middle lane should be pure gears. Because I think it's much easier to get pure iron here and pure iron here, and then have the inside be just chips. I really hope, like, if I delete stuff... Okay. This is my first time, like, deleting stuff on a different one. It works great with a double-sided maul, doesn't it? Not when it's compact. If I made it larger, I could maybe make it work. But the issue is that burners can't really grab from a splitter. So if I set it up that way, it is going to be performing at like... It won't be able to consume the full belt. They're not self-feeding, so it might be fine. But burner inserters struggle to grab from a splitter that just swapped sides. So you would basically... I don't know what ratio it would be. I'd say probably decreasing the belt throughput by like 30%. Maybe that's fine. Let's do some tests, see how we like it. Okay, and then we can flip it and see if this is at least somewhat functional. Okay. I guess we can just delete them. Yeah, I guess when it's dense, they work well enough. So maybe it'll be fine. Because those all seem to have no issue. Maybe it's just self-feeding that has a problem, because that's so much less safe. So I'm assuming these are missing power. I like how these actually have a supply of iron. Oh, they're not missing power. What are they missing? Oh, they're missing fuel. Ah, that'll work. I don't know what's happening here. I definitely don't want to break future layers. I actually don't know what those are. Oh. Oh, that's why there's no coal. Because those are placed on a higher layer. Okay, that makes sense then. And then let's unresearch stuff for now. So we need stack size to be 0. That will work. But yeah, since these aren't self-feeding, they might be safe enough. Because we don't technically need the speed to be... Like, we don't need it to be completely full speed. Also, there's no way for me to get iron over here, I'm realizing. Because this is going to have, like, half a lane of iron max. Actually, no, it's going to have way less than that. Oh, wait, this lane has iron. Okay, so yeah, this will have a little bit over half a lane of iron, so it also needs a supplement. Let's see, these are not running. That's actually a little bit odd. Are these disabled? Oh, this stage is disabled. That's why things aren't working. Okay, well, that would do it. Yeah, they all have coal. Not enough coal, but they do all have coal. But I mean, that's just because this is just set up as a temporary design. Okay. So yeah, this is a good example of why they can't really grab from a splitter. It works okay sometimes, but they spend a lot of time just shaking back and forth trying to get like insert two gears that are next to each other before things actually run. And then these need power poles. Yeah, they're very close to working, but they don't, and that's the unfortunate part. But a lot of times they do work. So for a mall, it could be fine. Is there anything we can do to split them? This one has to grab both. Well, I guess we need iron coming from the other side. So technically, what we could do is this and still have pure iron on this half. Oh, but then we can't have outputs, so never mind. These have to have the split. Once it's backed up, can they almost consume full speed? Because if we can consume once it's backed up, maybe we're okay. Because I don't think we're going to be gear limited to the degree we normally are in runs. Gosh, I wish burner inserters weren't so bad. They're so terrible. Oh, but honestly, this is kind of like best case scenario. I think if we research stack size, it actually makes it worse. Or nah, it seems about the same. This has terrible, terrible production speed. Yeah, this does not work at all. This is running at like 40% speed, maybe. We could actually give it an analyzer and see how bad it's actually performing. So green is full. Less than half. That makes sense. It is about half, though. That's not terrible. It's bad. It's definitely bad. But it's not as limiting as I thought. But we also have stack size right now. So this is best case scenario. Okay, so this is actually going to be, once we have all sciences running, it's producing half. Never mind, it is worse than I thought. Okay, so let's unresearch it and see what it is now. So now that we've changed something, we have to reanalyze the zone. Well, now it's working full speed. Well, as full as it can get with the double splitters. The other thing is with the splitters acting as they are, we don't actually have the right ratio. So best case scenario, this can only run at about 60% speed. Worst case scenario, it runs at less if the belts aren't that full. Let's see. Let's clear the belt. Let's see what it runs at now. Because I think we can assume that they're probably not going to be that full. Yeah, it's struggling. It's definitely struggling. I feel like we don't have as many green chips as we should, though. Don't know why these are not running. Oh, right. This mod, the stage mod, doesn't necessarily like burner inserters, which complicates things a little bit. Not anything we can do about that, but sometimes switching between layers breaks the inserters forever, so sometimes they brown out, even when it's like this one should be pretty much physically impossible to brown out. Oh wait, never mind. These ones weren't set up properly. But these ones should have been near impossible to brown out, especially both of them, but sometimes switching stages breaks them. I've not figured out how. Okay, so that's producing half. This is producing a quarter. And a quarter production for this is half. And we need 1.83. Yeah, that will not work. These need to be improved. Okay. So one option, and I think our best option, is going to be not using the splitter strat and instead using extra undergrounds. So that means our design has to be completely changed, which is a little bit annoying, but I guess that's fine. If we switch sides, I think that also makes things a little bit easier. But yeah, we definitely need pure iron and then pure whatever these are. Oh, I guess another option, we could put circuits and gears and then circuits and iron on one belt. I don't know if that makes things easier. Let's see, this needs iron and gears, this needs iron and gears, this needs iron and gears, iron gears, and pipes, but mostly iron gears. And this one just needs gears and circuits. So it's not until we get to the later stuff that they don't need iron and gears at the same time. Like, not until assembler 2s. Or iron and circuits. Okay, so I think our best split is actually going to be half a belt of iron and gears together, rather than circuits and gears. We have the space, right? Yeah, we can figure something out. So let's pretend we have this is an iron and circuits belt, and then this is an iron and gears belt. Now we can't do this fancy trick anymore. We have to do a different kind of design, but that's honestly not the end of the world. So this would be iron and gears. That will run, that will run, that will run. This will run. This will run. This is just for personal building. This one doesn't quite run. So now we're running into the issue of we need pipes as well. Pipes can go on a belt. I think that's totally fine. We need 2 for it to run full speed, and since this is powering so much, that needs to be done. But now that we have that on a belt, this should be fairly straightforward. The build order is going to matter a lot for this, which is it's going to be rough, but it happens. We just need to be very, very particular about how we build things. Otherwise, things don't run very well. Also, the pattern here is very inconsistent. We need to figure out what direction we're going to build it. But that's something that literally changes nothing other than the alignment of this. The inserter placements are the same. So we can make that decision later. So now we should be able to use Smart Belt, and we can go under here and power everything we need. Now the boilers, we can't really fully automate the boilers. We also can't really fully automate these. At least not initially. So what I think we'll do... Actually, what will we do? Ooh, I see what we can do. So right here, if we put furnaces on this bottom half of the belt at some point, then this can be automated going into burner drills and boilers, which would work very well. So that's definitely an option. And then these can be stored in a chest as well, which I think would be good. Okay, and then to start with, we can just hand feed it furnaces, and that's a lot of furnaces, especially this one. I wish there was a way that made it that I didn't have to delete this inserter, though. That's going to be really annoying for the blueprint. I don't actually know how we do that with the blueprint, if I'm being honest. I guess I can just place it by hand and not have it in the blueprint at all and hope I remember. Actually, we don't need it at all. We can just hand feed. 40 drills with one hand feed is probably sufficient. Because I would like to not have to manually do things that aren't part of the blueprint. That's pretty important to me. I guess if I really wanted to, I could have like a random chest that we drop like 400 in. But yeah, that should be totally fine. Okay, so these are later. Those are good. Okay, so this is all gear and iron. And that can go, honestly, this far, which is kind of nice. And then none of these need circuits. That's the nice thing. So we don't have to try to figure out how to get circuits over here. And now, this inside will also be gears and iron. I don't think it really matters. Let's see, gears and iron on the inside, but we eventually want to drop the gear and iron belts. Maybe we don't have to. Can we use splitters at the end? We might be able to use splitters at the end once we get to this part. But it is looking like we'll definitely need this outer belt. I think the... yeah, we need gears and iron here. Okay. So this will have another gear and iron. So how do we do that? I think we just have to completely redesign this section. Oh, wait. Right. We already have a gear and iron belt. What am I thinking? Perfect. Incredibly easy to do. Now we're 100% going to have throughput issues. So we have a couple options here. Actually, wait, do we have a couple options here? We don't have a way to get more gears, which means we don't need to have to worry about... we don't really have to worry about the belt throughput. And if we can't get more belt throughput, I guess we can just build it the easy way. That should be fine. So the easy way is obviously to just have these share a belt. So this would all move down one tile, which I think doesn't break things. Wasn't supposed to grab that, but other than that, we didn't break things. Okay, actually maybe we move it up a tile. Moving it up could be better. Okay, and then this just ends here. So now we have to do some kind of magic to get this to the bottom. Which I guess is not that difficult, is it? It's hard. It's harder than I thought. Actually, yeah, that's a lot harder than I thought. Okay. Can we use smart belt to our advantage? No. Can we move this gear belt? Technically, yes. This can go here. Then I think that gives us a lot more room to work with. This will be smart belt compatible. This one's actually going to be a straight line. And then this one's smart belted, just based on build order. I think it made a difference earlier. Actually, no, even with the old design, this would have been better. Okay, so that should be fine. I would really like to not have to have this belt here. Or this half underground, because that's just asking for trouble. What's the other option? I could possibly split it like this. That might not get enough copper, though. Because let's see, this will take from the close side first. And if it takes from the close side first, that is this same side that's being split off. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, so we have to do an underground somewhere. I guess it doesn't make a huge difference. And I can't really... well, I could mirror this. Nah, it should be fine, though. Okay, I don't know how many this can supply, but it seems fine. I mean, none of these are going to run full speed. That much I'm aware of. It just needs to run okay. And now we can possibly... okay, well now this can just be a straight line. Okay, this is going to have to be built by hand, which I don't love, but we can work around it. And then we have to go like around. This is weird. We need to get this over to here. And we can't go straight through. The undergrounds are not long enough for that. Do I need this chest? Probably, because this produces a lot of belts, and we need a lot of belt early. Although if we have this one, we might not need this one. I don't know. Oh, but because they're running at 60% speed, we probably want that one. Especially since we need significantly more belts with burner inserters. Okay, now this doesn't actually have any belt going to it. I think these need to be direct fed. Which means it should probably go somewhere else. Or maybe we can move it up top. Because, yeah, we don't have a spot for splitters here either. Let's see, what are our options? This needs iron and circuits and no belt. This needs iron and no belt. Okay, so technically these don't need the iron gear belt at all. So if these don't need the iron gear belt, I think our best bet is to actually have a third row that has access to iron and circuits. So we're just gonna cut these down, and hopefully I remember what they are when I get to them. Because, yeah, those definitely need to be like a third row right here. No idea what this belt is. I'm assuming it's supposed to be steel and bricks. But it doesn't really matter right now. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, there's definitely some weird vestigial structures here that I have no idea what they're for. So those are fun. Is vestigial the right word? Yeah. Yeah, because my base was evolved. And they no longer have a purpose. Yeah. I don't know if it ever had a purpose, though. That's why I'm not sure if vestigial is the right word there. Because if it never had a purpose in the first place, does it really count? What can I do here? This isn't terrible. It's not good. It's actually really kind of awful. This can be somewhat smart belt compatible, so that's nice. Okay, let's see if we can make this smart belt compatible. Okay, that's manageable. My base has evolved into a fish. Oh, wait, like it's devolving? I could buy that. Okay, so this is smart belt compatible. It's weird, but this is completely smart belt compatible with the coal lines as well. Yeah, okay, that's fine with me. Right here, I care more about smart belting than saving belt. That's why I have so many short undergrounds. Okay, yeah, this is alright. It's nice that we don't have to put these into a chest. That part's really cool. So now if we analyze it, it should be working. Let's see, how fast do we need it to work? Faster than this, that's for sure. What are we limited by? Probably inserter timings, actually. Like, we have the perfect ratio. Oh, wait, no, we don't. Well, okay, we do have the perfect ratio. We actually... Huh. Wait. Technically, this is the right ratio, but because it's prioritizing iron, it doesn't work. So this only works if we can swap which side circuits are on. Because then it would prio circuits over iron most of the time. Because basically what's happening right here is 50. This one's constantly moving to grab circuits, and it will also grab iron every now and then. And every time it grabs iron, that means it's not working perfectly. But I don't know if redesigning it would be faster or if just having an extra one would be better. I feel like just having another would probably be a better option. And who knows, if we get stack size 3, maybe it doesn't matter anymore. Let's test that. Well, okay, it still matters. Yeah, matters less. Actually, yeah, no, it seems to be... Honestly, now it's output limited. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's pretty... Okay, it's pretty consistent. Okay, I think we can live with this. Okay, so it eventually becomes near full speed. With stack size 3. What about with stack size 2? Because stack size 2 we get pretty early. Unresearch, start research. Okay, because we can live with it. We can live with it running not perfectly for a while. As long as once we get stack size 2, it's running at like 80% speed, because we only really need it to run 80% speed. Okay, it's actually, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this design is okay. I think it is worth doing the double inserters up top, because it does definitely help. And we need more iron anyway. Honestly, so little iron gets through here when these circuits are running that it makes me think that we just shouldn't even have this iron here. Because if we do another split for the circuits, like this, we can get iron from this other side. And that does improve the balance. Or it should improve the balance, because now circuits are prioed. I think. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Because inserters will try to grab the closest one as long as there's an item, which means it's less likely to grab iron. It's probably not a significant change, but it's there. It's an option. That's the main thing. It is something we can possibly use. The main thing I like about it is the fact that iron is on the correct side for easy improvement. I had no idea how that switched to a provider chest. We can't really check. I guess I can't really check to see how the base is running. Oh, wait, I can disable all the higher ups, because I do want to get some performance metrics for how much we're producing per second. But it's currently still running this part of the base, I think. Okay, so these are good, and considering we only need that for research, that simplifies things a lot. I'll probably end up shifting this up a little bit. I guess I can't really shift it up. We'll just have to accept that there's a space here. It's not the end of the world. Okay. And now we need assembling machines. So assembling machines are tough. We don't need a ton of them. Like, we only need a grand total of, what, like 200 before bots? Which is, or like 300-ish before we get to better automation of them. Which means we can probably make do with one assembly machine for these. Pretty easily, right? Yeah, I think we can make do with that. So that has an input, output, double input. And then this just follows along this green circuit lane. It also needs to be powered, but we'll switch the power poles around. There's a way to build this that is really easy for assembly machine placement and power pole placement, but I haven't decided which direction I'll get to build it. Because ideally, I think this is a good example. You want the bottom half staggered from the right. Oh wait, this is actually a bad example. This has like 3 designs in it in one. But basically you want the top half staggered from the bottom half, just because of how auto placement works. You would drag these from the left to the right, then you would drag these from right to left, and that just gives it a natural stagger. Because assembly machines are the last thing you place. Otherwise you have to do power poles first, but that doesn't work because these don't have power poles next to them. So we instead stagger them based on the belt, because that will help with build consistency. This does not run well. But it does have an entire, like, 2 hours to produce 300, so it's probably fast enough. The main issue is how do we eventually get this to blue? Yeah, how do we eventually get this to blue assemblers? I don't know, actually. Direct feeding could work. What do these need? Steel, okay, gears, electronic circuits, steel. Okay, and assembly machines. It's gonna have to look weird. It's not gonna be inline. Maybe it can be another thing that goes on a separate layer. Like, these can all be on their own layer. I don't really see a great way to get those functional. None of these are gonna work full speed. That's another thing I have to realize. We don't have enough gear production to make these work full speed. Honestly, I don't think I have enough gear production in general for this. Let's see. We have enough iron going through past the gears, so that's fine. If we do a red belt upgrade, we can get a few more gears, but I don't think that's super viable. Once these get upgraded to red belt, we'll have a ton more iron, but that's all we'll have, extra iron. I guess that would help a lot with this. But red belt's pretty far away after this mall. Also, oh gosh, we need to get red belt in the small. Just a little bit, but we do need it. Okay, how many assembly machines am I making? 22 a minute? Oh, that should be more than enough, right? Considering I only need 300 over like the course of 2 hours. Because yeah, I don't think our I don't think we're gonna have a build speed bottleneck. I would be very impressed. Or sorry, we're going to have a build speed bottleneck. I'll be I'll be very impressed if we end up not being build speed limited with burner inserters. So we'll leave that. What would direct feeding look like? I guess that's what it boils down to. Because we still need 2 inputs here, and then we need an output, which we can't do an output. You can't direct feed and have an output without having an extra splitter. That's the part that I don't like. So we would need a splitter here, and then this probably wouldn't be able to run. Yeah, I think putting this on the same belt as steel is our best bet. Yeah, we need this space. Also, this lets me have an upgrade path, which is nice. So we don't have to worry about directly going to blue assemblers. Okay, we can live with that. We don't want this. It's pretty useless. Honestly, balance-wise, this isn't terrible. I don't know what's using up all our gears, though. We're definitely not getting enough gears. We might have to artificially limit some stuff. Because honestly, this is an insane amount of burner inserters that I'm producing right now. Like, 2 burner inserters per second is an incredibly ambitious goal. I don't think I need to be that worried. Now, this does still need more iron. And the only way I can see to get more iron is to cut one of these. Because we would need this belt to basically just side load here, which cuts one of these inserters. Now, that might be fine. So it is very possible that we can just cut this. Because that does make it that this still runs decently fast, right? And then once we get stack size 3, they'll run full speed. Although it might be a little bit too late by then. I like how these are working so terribly. What are we down to? Okay, right now we have stack size 2. Okay, it actually... No, it did. These aren't running... Honestly, these aren't running that differently from each other. Oh, but this has to probably get more iron now that this doesn't have the top half. I don't love it. Yeah, I don't think these are all going to run. That's what I think that's what it boils down to. These are probably not going to run full speed, but that's fine because we should have more than enough up here. I don't think we cut it that close, right? That's 1.7. This is... Oops. What is this? This is 1.9. Okay, so if we only have 3... Yeah, if we end up only having 3 science per minute, I think we're fine. Okay, so let's actually remove this, which is this analysis zone, which does that have a shortcut? It does. Why isn't that working? Oh, I have to hold shift click. I can never remember that button. Okay, we'll leave the double input. I think it is helpful. I really want these to be side swapped. Also, we need more iron here. Okay, how do we get more iron here? That's what we need. I guess we could leave a space. Because where do we start running out of iron? Like almost perfectly here. So if we shift this over 1 segment, we only waste a little bit of belt. And it's not really a waste if it's necessary. Then we can have a splitter, and now we can sideload iron. And get more supplemental iron. Now this probably won't work full speed until we get the red belt upgrade. Although we might have some spare iron. We could very well have some spare iron here. Because this is limited to half a belt. This is not normally going to be running full speed. These green chips are here for burst production. They're not necessarily used all the time. Which means there is spare iron here we could use too. Which does not seem to be consumed by this bottom half that often. So we probably have some spare. Yeah, I don't... This isn't... I mean, it is technically enough iron lane. It is pushing it, though. What's this supposed to be? Oh, I think this is my hand-fed steel lane. Actually, no, I don't have any guesses. I don't know what that is. I guess this is the bottom of my base. We can add a lane. Like, I'm looking at it like this is the edge of my base and I can't add anything, but we literally have not designed anything over here. We can add a smelting lane. So we possibly need a new iron lane in starter base. Because the way that I have it set up, we don't actually have the spot for a new iron lane until after we get red belts, without red belt upgrades. Yeah, that's not great. Okay, but this is working really well. I'm assuming that if I give this furnaces, it does not work so well. Let's find out. Because now I'm assuming it's gonna struggle to get enough iron. Also, will this produce enough furnaces? This might actually not produce enough drills. Sorry, not furnaces, drills. It's producing enough with stack size 2. I guess we still have the original mall, so I don't think this is going to be that limiting. Because I forget we do have the starter patch, which we will still be using at this point in time. So I think we don't have to make up for a lot of these as much as I'm thinking. A lot of this is useful later. But honestly, gears and circuits seem fine. Of course, these stalled. If I had a loader, I should probably put an infinity chest up here actually, because I wanna stress test it at like 40% speed. Not 40%. I actually want to stress test it at 90% speeds, but I have no idea how I would do that. So we're just gonna make these run full speed and assume we're fine. Okay, so this is still getting green gears and iron from this side. It runs really slowly when it only gets iron from that side though. Okay, yeah, we definitely need that iron supplement. Although this is an option. Actually, I was saying I needed to use that iron. This does work. It is honestly not that much more complicated. So this lets the inserters be split more evenly, which is pretty cool. And then these don't actually run that. These won't run very often, neither will these. So these are consuming a lot of iron that I won't necessarily need. Same with these. We only really need like 100 boilers total. So honestly, we probably don't need boilers in the mall. These are just like if my starter mall is abandoned early thing. I figured having these here are better than not having them. At least when the downside is so low. Okay, let's see what our new production is. 9 per minute? That sounds much more reasonable. How much is that per hour? That's 600 per hour, right? Oh wait, hold on. How many insert assembly machines do I actually have? What is our starter base? I think this encompasses almost all of it. So we only need 200. We only need 200 assembly machines total. Yeah, 9 per minute is fine. I don't know why I didn't think it was. I forget how few assemblers this uses. Like, this is the size of one outpost, basically. Like, our entire starter base. Wow, yeah, no wonder why the million chips per hour achievement is so brutal. It's like starting the run and doing half of an 90% run, like 30 times. Okay. And then we decided the blue assemblers would also be in this mystery row. And now I think that's everything that we... Oh, wait. Do these need pipes? Yes, they need pipes. Oh, wait, these need pipes and circuits. Okay, we could direct feed these. Can we double direct feed? I don't think we can double direct feed. Pretty sure that's not a thing that can be done. This can be smart belted, that's fine. We need inputs to pipe, and then offshore pumps. Which again, offshore pumps, this is just kind of like a peace of mind type of thing. Realistically, we don't need offshore pumps. Actually, wait, never mind, that's wrong. We do actually need these offshore pumps, because these are probably the ones that will be used for everything. And then this needs an input over here or something. We'll go through and we'll double check this for build speed to make sure we have the undergrounds in the spots that are easiest to build, because I think that'll vary a lot based on the final design. But it's also a very easy fix to do, so that's why we're kind of waiting on it. Okay, there we go. This will make offshore pumps. It feels really weird having them automated, but we need a total of like 200 in the run. If they're not automated, it's not going to happen. We also need landfill, and we need it fairly early. Honestly, we could do direct mining into landfill, along with our direct mining into furnaces. That's decent. How much can you get for that? Because we only need the landfill by the time we get bots. Another option is to just have it like off to the side somewhere. But we do need it. Not necessarily part of the mall, but a little bit after the mall. Okay, we definitely don't need yellow assemblers here, so that's nice. Those would have been really, really awful to get here. Oh, ooh, these are definitely necessary. We got these. So now we're missing refinery, everything for oil. Well, not everything for oil, but the main three things for oil. Chests definitely needed. I think we automated steel chests somewhere else later down the line. However, we do need to hand feed them a little bit early on. But I'm pretty sure we added them next to some red chip lane. Wait. Do we not have, I don't think we have provider chests. Is there any way to check? I don't think there's a search yet, right? That's the expansion. Oh, wait. This can check for me. Kind of. It's not fantastic, but... Oh, wait, that's inputs. So if we scroll through this completely disorganized list, we might see a passive provider. We probably won't, because I'm pretty sure we do not have it. Yeah, we don't have it. I mean, realistically, we don't need passive providers to be automated for a long time. So they can be automated... Well, we'll add a task for that, because it's definitely something that needs to be done. Automate bot chests, because this definitely necessary. Hand-fed, totally fine up until bots, because we only need like 50, probably, 50 tops. Which means we can wait to automate it until probably here. I think this has steel nearby, this has red chips, this has green chips. Wait, this doesn't have green chips. But this has green chips, so we can probably just cram an assembler wherever. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about it now. It is in the task list, just because it's easy enough to forget. Near, let's see, near red chips. Near any red chips. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then I needed a chest. Actually, I think priority-wise, this chest should be a lot earlier. Actually, no. We don't need that many chests. Yeah, it can stay at the end. Actually, do we need any chests? What do I need these for? I don't know. We'll leave them. But, yeah, the more I look at it, the more I realize we don't actually have a priority on it at all. Because any chest that we're using for the mall will already be built, because it's only like 50. We can hand feed an assembly machine like 2 or 3 times, and then we're good. Okay. Let's put this on the other side where it's not going to interfere with anything. Also, we are building on the wrong stage, which is fine. Easy enough to fix. Okay. This is the part that I don't like to think about. So we've pretty much maxed out the entire mall so far. Let's see. It's out of gears. We definitely need to get furnaces here. I guess it's not that pretty, but we could have furnaces automated on the end and then have this belt going backwards. That's not terrible to build. And it's only like 50 belt, which at this point is super, super cheap. Actually, that's not... I don't hate that option. Now, I still don't know if we're getting enough burner drills. Let's see. This is producing 0. Yeah, I don't know what I expected. Let's assume that is not going to be furnace limited. Let's make that assumption right now. Let's give it an entire loader worth of of furnaces. This is so many furnaces. But yeah, it's probably safe that we're We won't have trouble getting enough furnaces. Because I want to see how much this can produce per second. Because I imagine, like, this is a lot of belts, or a fair amount of belt. It's not producing undergrounds. It is producing as many burner inserters as it is producing regular inserters. That's such a weird thought. Okay, these could technically be upgraded to blue assemblers at some point. So if we can get a small stretch of red belts. Oh, and we would also need a red splitter. Yeah, I don't see a great way to upgrade them all with how we have it set up. We need it to be double-sided. We'll have to extend this part of the base. That's not a huge problem, but it definitely needs to be done. This is running more than fast enough. That's enough because these are automated later, right? Yeah. Okay. So pipes and junk. Most things we need are automated later. The thing I'm worried about is chem plants are not automated until much later in the run. Like really late in the run. We don't. So we might not actually have enough of these. These might need. Well, okay. If we get an extra iron lane, I think these will be fine. Because the thing is, we use like 500. Actually, I don't really know what the number is. I think we use half as much. I think we have a fairly equivalent split between powering power and powering inserters. So we can probably assume that we need 1,000 chemical plants before we have this automation. What? What? What has happened? What is how? What? That was weird. I don't know how I did that. I was not a fan of that. Don't know what happened there. So did the music stop? No, the music's still good. It's not looping though, so it's about to stop. Okay. But yeah, chem plants, oil refinery. We don't need a ton of these. We need a lot of these, and we need just as many of these. So we need about not one every 30 minutes. Every hour we need at least 100. Yikes. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Oh, jeez. So we need like two per minute. That doesn't sound that high. I know it's not that high. It sounds like a lot relative to how many chem plants you normally need. But we need so much going into solid fuel that it kind of complicates things. Okay, none of these need iron. And then this doesn't need iron. So wait, this needs iron. This needs iron. Why did I think that didn't need iron? This doesn't need iron. Okay, so this can be built with these three. That makes sense. This one we'll just delete. We don't really need that. Stone furnaces can literally come from anywhere. If I had to guess, we're probably actually going to send stone furnaces through here. That just seems like a much nicer spot for it. Also, we can move the accumulator. It's kind of blocking things, making a weird underground. But we can definitely... Oh, that's still making a weird underground. Okay, where's a good spot for this? Here? This might not block things. But yeah, furnaces coming from the bottom, probably the best bet. Because trying to get stone over here is actually kind of not worth it. And then we could have it side-loaded here, so that way it doesn't matter what side the furnaces come from. And then we'll just we'll put these wherever they happen to fit. Those I don't think matter too much. This stuff is gonna drive me crazy. Cause like I know it works if you just leave it as a ghost, but I feel like I will compulsively fix things and that will break a lot of my base, and that's the thing I'm worried about. Gears stopped for some reason. Oh, we cut power. That would do it. That would definitely do it. Okay, honestly, this mall looks fairly clean. For burners, of course. That's always something we have to specify. It looks clean for what it is. It is not clean by any actual, like, standard that some people might use. But, you know, we take what we can get. We definitely... We take any victory we have. Because that's all we got. We got those little victories with this base. Okay. So... These two things are easy enough to fit, right? I think this belt assembler should actually be later. Well, no, we do need the belt assembler. Also, underground belts are very, very important. And we have them automated very late in the chain, which I don't love. Let's see. Is there anything I can do with this? Maybe it's fine. The base is fairly clean, unlike the pollution it's producing. Like, at least we figured out how to contain the pollution. So, like, it doesn't spread. We might make the, like, ppm of every chunk, like, 1 million. Like, literally pure, pure pollution. But it's not spreading to nearby chunks, so we're not polluting the whole world. That's what matters. The secret is to just not let it spread. Okay, so this needs circuits and belts, which means if we shift this over, okay, I think I see a line that works, which we have to move all of them. Okay, I think this is our best bet here. I think I'll take the risk with making it unsafe, just for smart belting purposes. I think that would be better. Yeah. Okay, this is all right. Smart beltable works just fine. And now we can take this and we can paste it back. It's going to change some of the fuel belts around, but that's fine. And we delete this. Okay, so now this goes one tile over, or one segment over. And now this makes its loop a little bit earlier. Honestly, we can technically grab from a corner, but it's not consistent. Let's see, what are our two options? Actually, this is technically safer, right? Grabbing from a splitter, I think, is easier than grabbing from a corner. What if I swap them? Can I swap them? Okay, yeah, I can swap them. Never mind. Never mind, I was thinking there wasn't enough space to do that, but it seems fine. Okay, there we go. This has a much better priority. Is it going to be limited by anything? Technically, yes, but it's a splitter. Which, the way we have our base designed, we don't need that many splitters. We need a ton of undergrounds. So yeah, we really need to figure out this underground situation. What I'm thinking is that we have a dedicated underground belt right here with like its own belt of iron. Or priod before supplemental iron gets through. That seems reasonable to me. Then we don't really have anything on our hotbar. I still want to know how I was switching stages. I'm not sure what was happening there. Okay, also, what is this coal split? What? Weird. Did we get off the grid? No, we didn't get off the grid. Yeah, I don't know how that belt appeared. Oh, that was the iron belt. Coal got into the iron belt perfectly. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, so for undergrounds, I think if we have some underground belts here, we can have this grab the belts directly from this one. Okay, I actually like that. What's the ratio of inserters here? For underground, 2 to 1. Okay, so technically we can make do with one inserter here, which is nice. Now the real question is, well, not a question, but we can't actually get this circuit here now. But we might be able to supplement it. Ooh, we might be able to go around. Wait, that's actually pretty nice. One might say clean, but that would be wrong. But no, this is really good. Okay, we'll go with good, because it is good. It works very well. Yeah, I'm content with that. That will give me, well, it doesn't have an output, so I'm not that content with it, but the output part is easy, I think. Yeah, easy enough at least. They won't share a chest, but that's fine. The world will not end. Okay, I like that. I think. So that goes around. And then we can still have space for supplementary iron belts here. And we'll just delete these because we don't no longer need them. Actually, wait, can't I just do... I think there's like a force delete button on the wrong stage. I guess I should just go to the higher stage and delete it. That's probably our best bet. There we go. That way I don't have to move and delete constantly because that would take forever. Okay. That's fun. We'll say that. It's a fun design. Nobody can deny that this is a fun mall design. Is it better? Is it fine? That's the real question. But it seems perfectly okay. Also, the fact that these have filled up since we've started, that gives me a lot of hope. Like a lot of hope that we're not actually going to have that many gear issues. Because yeah, this will back up. That will give me like 10% more gears. That isn't wasted by these things. These obviously back up because we've had this running for like 30 minutes, right? And these have 3,000 inserters. We only need 2,000 over the course of 2 hours, so this is like 4 times as much as we need. We just have to have a ton to get that like initial burst out. Actually, no, counting drills, we probably need about 2,500. But that's still not that many. Because yeah, it's only this part of the base. 2,000 plus another, yeah, 500 for drills. Seems reasonable. Okay, I feel like we're definitely missing something, but maybe we're not. Now, I think I could actually change the outputs here, too. Maybe we don't buffer things. I might make it that these don't buffer. Because we do need these to go to splitters, and right now it's like a 50-50 split. Actually, wait, since this is circuit limited, it doesn't actually... it's not actually going to be... it's not going to be conveyor limited. So we actually would need 2 inputs for this to possibly be limited. Okay, that helps it run a little bit better. Yep, we're still not struggling with gears. I don't know if this is enough splitter production. Let's see, our entire starting base has 100. And we do also have splitters in our early base. So I think we're fine. Also, hand-feeding splitters, very much an option. The thing that I'm worried about is how much do we use in our entire base before we get splitters? Because once we get to spots, yeah, we go crazy on splitters. We use 1,000. Which part has more splitters? Okay, we do have full automation pretty early. So there's only 100 splitters being placed between bots and hand placing. Okay. Yeah, I forget that this is... I forget that the mall that's designed to be fed by bots is built pretty shortly after bots. So, like, I don't really have this huge overlap between hand building and bots that I'm thinking I have. Just because once you get bots, things just pick up so fast. I'm not used to that. I don't know how much iron we'll have, but honestly, it seems like we have a fair amount, which is good. Don't know if we need this iron supplement here, but just in case, it's still present. Assembly machines are producing incredibly slowly. How much are we even producing? Oh, actually, 15 per minute. That's fine. Yeah, that's only 20 minutes to produce all of them we need. It just feels slow since I'm looking at it, but it's going to take us so long to do the mining lanes. Honestly, if anything, this is the thing we should be worried about. Because this is producing pretty slowly. I'm just hoping that we have enough left over that we're fine. But we might have to end up adding another one on the end, which is really easy to do. Like this, we can fit one. We'd also space it out. If we shift this all over, we can put another burner drill there. We'll add some extra descriptors here. Potentially more iron drills. There we go. Because, yeah, I don't know if those are... I really don't know if those will suffice. Okay, gear production seems fine. I mean, I think most of our gears actually go into burner inserters. So once burner inserters back up, or once these are limited, I really don't think we're going to have gear issues. Also, these probably take a lot of gears. And these. Yeah, once all of these things back up, I think life is okay. Because these will definitely back up. We probably will not be researching fast enough to need all of these all the time. Is there anything else I'm missing before we have to go to the complicated stuff? Let's see, we got 2 underground assemblers. How much is it producing? Because undergrounds we actually need a lot of. This is producing, it says 40 per minute. That might actually not be enough. 1200 divided by 40. How many minutes is that? Actually, yeah, that's about half an hour. It's crazy to think that, like, I that burner inserters are so bad that I think it will take, like, an hour or two to build all these. Like, normally, you know, like, the time gap between having your mall up and Blue Science is, like, 15 minutes. So you wouldn't say, like, oh, 30 minutes is fine. Like, that's, you know, normally that's not fast enough at all, but it totally is. I don't like it, but it's what it is. And I really don't think we need both of these, but I don't really see a reason to delete it either. But yeah, we'll delete it. I guess we can always change the priority. Like, if anything, the only thing I would care about changing is the priority there. This is direct fed, so it goes one tile over. Okay. Actually, should this be direct fed? Yeah. There's not a great way to get pipes there that isn't direct feeding. Okay, so now we need the, last but not least, we have these four, which need steel. They all need steel, they all need gears, they all need circuits. So that's three things. They don't need any raw iron, or iron plates, but one of them does need bricks. And most of them need pipes. Okay, so with splitters, we can get up to 8 resources going to in a single machine. It just runs a little bit slowly. But that should be okay. So I think what we do is at the end of this, we can condense everything into a splitter style mall. I think that's our best bet. Because this has pipes on it. And this has gears. So those could combine into like one belt on the top. And we're actually going to leave a gap. We're just going to have this magical like 12 tile gap. Because once I get this done, it's going to be hard to add things later. So we're going to leave a weird gap. And then we can add things later if we decide we need it. Because this is only 4 assembly machines, which means we still have space for like 3 or 4 more assembly machines here if we realize things are imbalanced. Especially once we get more iron, they'll probably be fairly imbalanced. Let's see, where does this go? Okay, so yeah, we can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more assembly machines here. Honestly, if our mall, plus we have, worst case scenario, we also have this as well. Wow, this mall is working way better than I thought it would. I guess it does have, like, 2 iron lanes going into it, so I shouldn't be surprised. Like, it's consuming almost 2 full lanes of iron. It just feels like, it feels a lot smaller. I don't know why. We definitely don't need furnaces here. So yeah, let's combine them here. Yo, what's up, Jeff? A little bit late there. But yeah, howdy. You're here. Yeah, that's the important thing. You're here. Oh wait. Ooh. Oh, if I set this up right, we can smart belt this. Would that be faster? Probably not. But we could smart belt this. Wait, no, that doesn't work. Never mind. We would have to send this up. Yeah, we'll just use a splitter or some kind of filter. I don't know. We definitely need to split some stuff off right now. Let's see. Are they on the same side? Unfortunately, they are on the same side. I think technically a splitter is my best bet. Yeah, we are currently working on a very long running project, Burner 100%. It's not a real speedrun category. I think I actually fooled someone into thinking that. But it is my own like personal speedrun category that I have fun with. Just doing stuff with burner inserters, but like trying to do it as fast as possible. And this one is for a 100% run, which is an actual speedrun. It is very long. Yeah, that's true. Not a real category yet. People realize this is... Everybody needs we need more 12-hour runs in Factorio, and everybody's gonna hop on this train. Okay, that's all right. Wait, how are we going to output? Wait, how am I going to output from these? Also, these won't run full speed because of the whole splitter issue I was talking about earlier. But that's okay, we can live with that. How does that not fit? What? Huh. Huh. One of these is spaced wrong. But I don't know how. I'm very confused. What? Spacing's off. Spacing's very off. What did I do wrong? What's the total color requirement for this? That is a good question. Is it less or more than your standard 1K science per minute base? We'll go out on a limb here. We're gonna say more. Let's see. I had an estimate at some point. I would have to recalculate it. Hold on. Okay. So I did my estimations based on how many burner inserters we had, and I just assumed an uptime of like 100%. No, an uptime about 25%. So I estimated it as, I think, 20,000 inserters running full speed, plus another 40,000 for the outposts. Also, again, running at, let's say a third between all of them. So let's say we have to run 20,000 full speed. So that is that is 1.4 gigawatts just going into inserters. Also, I'll probably give the answer as solid fuel, just because we only use coal for the starter base. So coal-wise, we only actually need like 4 belts of coal. And then we have the power requirement. So this is a 1.2 gigawatt base, roughly, right? No, 2 gigawatt base. So that's 3,400 plus all the drills. So the drills, I don't know how many I need. Let's see, how many furnaces do we have? We are assuming 650 stone furnaces. Why are they stone furnaces? Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. Let's say 3,000 furnaces. So 3,000 furnaces, all working full speed. That is... How much coal is that? 90 kilowatts. Honestly, not that much. That's only another, like, 0.25. So let's see. 1.4 gigawatts plus 2 gigawatts plus 0.25 gigawatts. Just so the numbers are there so I don't forget. Okay, what am I missing now? Burner drills. Okay, so if we have 3,000 furnaces, that's 0.625 items per second, right? That's 1875 resources per second. Is that 1K science per minute full prod 3 is around 180 coal per second. Is that just going into plastic? Or is that also counting like steam power? Yeah, I figured they were yellow belts, because that would be an insane amount of red belts, or blue belts. Okay, so 185 divided by, or times 4? Actually, no, we have mining productivity, so let's say times 3.5 or something. Times 150. So 1 gigawatt going into burner drills. Plastic plus some grenades. Okay. And then, thanks for reminding me, we also have, I think, 2 belts going into plastic total. So we have a grand power requirement, though, of about, what is that, 3.5? No, 4.5. 4.5 gigawatts for burner inserters, or for burner stuff. And only less than half of that is going into power, which is absolutely insane. So if we were to convert that into coal, and just make some wild assumption that everything's run off of coal, things look pretty bleak, right? One belt of coal is 60 megawatts. So 4,500 divided by 60, that's 75 belts of coal. Does that sound right to you? I don't know why. Yeah, okay, no, that math looks right. 4,500 megawatts divided by 60 megawatts. Okay, so yeah, if we were to do entirely coal, we're looking at 75 belts of coal to run the base. I'm sorry, I get that's such an insane number. Fortunately, we're doing solid fuel, so that's only like 25 yellow belts of solid fuel. So that sounds a lot more pleasant when you phrase it like that. It's still terrible. But yeah, that's my estimate. If I were to not use solid fuel outside of rocket fuel stuff, we'd be looking at 75 red belts. So that's more. Only 25 belts. Yeah, it's only 25. Look, compared to 75, that's a lot smaller. I think we've established before, we take whatever wins we can get when it comes to burner inserters. Because there aren't that many large victories. I don't get why this isn't working. I'm very confused. I obviously copied it wrong, but I don't know how. Did I actually double copy it? Oh, okay. It's staggered. Okay, I see. It's off at the beginning, not at the end. That's why I was confused. Okay, there we go. That makes way more sense. Yeah, moral of the story. Burner inserters are awesome and everyone should use them, right? That's the moral? Or is it the other way around? And they're awful and nobody should use them. That probably makes more sense. Okay, so outputs for these are going to be weird. Oh, wait, never mind. Outputs aren't too bad. You missed a bit. 75 yellow belts, that's like nearly copper iron consumption for 1k. Yeah, roughly. Um, if I were to use coal. We don't use coal for that much, so really we only use about 6 belts of coal. I think 4 to 6 belts of coal. Not full speed, but I'd say we'll have 6 belts worth of burner drills. And then, but we're using solid fuel, so it's still like 25 belts for solid fuel. Would running everything on rocket fuel would be feasible? Should bring the belt count down? No. So rocket fuel is not great for 2 reasons. Mostly it's expensive, and we don't get it until very late. But its biggest issue is that we care more about how much fuel is on a belt rather than how many belts of fuel we have. So like rocket fuel would bring the belt count down, but we still would have to have, 50,000 belts. So it's not like it would really do much. We're still going to have as many individual belts of fuel because we just have to have it going throughout the base. We don't have throughput issues anywhere. So it's not going to decrease that belt, but you're using a much more expensive fuel in the process. So the start time is higher. Because if you wanted to have a full base running on rocket fuel, the start time is going to be 10 to 20 times higher? Something like that. I can never remember what rocket fuel needs. That's why I'm not sure. Rocket fuel uses 10 solid fuel. Okay, so start time is going to be 10 times higher because the density of rocket fuel is the same in terms of how much goes inside of an assembling machine or a burner drill. So usually the limiting factor for most of our designs is getting 2 to 7 fuel into every single inserter, which is a lot. Solid fuel is fairly cheap, so it doesn't matter that much. Rocket fuel, having 7 rocket fuel in every inserter before they all work is a bit unfeasible. So basically the base is going to be starting halfway through a solid fuel run. Yeah. Yeah, that too. By the time we get to solid fuel, or by the time we get to rocket fuel, 70% of the base will be built. But like I said, the main thing is the amount of entities or the amount of fuel. So like I don't actually care about belt density at all. The only reason we're using solid fuel over coal is because it's really hard to get this much coal distributed throughout the base as needed, because it's a lot easier to route a single pipe than it is to route 20 lanes of 20 lanes of coal or something like that. So that's why we're not really doing much coal. But in terms of startup time, coal is generally better. Yeah, you lose a little bit of efficiency with rocket fuel, like 10%. That's not a huge concern. The main thing is just how much rocket fuel you would need to be able to saturate 5 to 10 full belts of rocket fuel. Because just in terms of start speed, you need at least probably I would need at least 10 full saturated belts of rocket fuel. Otherwise, start time is going to be horrendous for everything. So yeah, on average, I think rocket fuel would be fun, but it would take so long to pay for itself, or not pay for itself, but to start things that it doesn't end up being worth the occasional throughput savings. And how much oil? I don't think the oil requirement is terrible. I think it's like 20 pipes of oil. Something like that. Probably about 10 to 20 pipes of oil. Because I think one pipe can do about 45 solid fuel per second or something. Or like 40 pipes. Don't remember the exact number. I want to say at least you can get at least one pipe, one red belt of solid fuel per pipe. Vectorio calculator, but that one I don't have an exact number on, because that one we just kind of connect stuff at random points. I've not done the calculations. I think power alone, because this uses solid fuel, is a lot less. So yeah, I guess we might use cracking throughout our base. I have not decided yet. If we use cracking, that uses half the oil, I think, but I don't think we'll use any more than 20 pipes. Which sounds so high, but I mean, 20 belts also sounds high. Okay, but this is all fixed. That's good. Glad I figured out what was happening there. Okay, so this has pipes and gears. We're on the wrong stage before it change stuff, but that has pipes and gears. And now we need circuits and steel. Okay, circuits and steel is a good split. So let's assume this goes straight through. And then circuits and steel would be somewhere here. Ooh, I think we need a build to send this up earlier, which means we have a little bit less space to work with if we need to expand it. But we still have enough space for 3 more assembling machines at the moment. That's all right. Okay, now we have a spot to get steel through. Okay, so steel is not going to come for a really long time. But ideally, bricks and steel are actually going to be on the same belt. And then it's going to split. I think that's what we do. We have bricks and steel together. Oh, would this also have stone in it? Oh, we technically have stone in this belt too. One belt is 165 oil per second. Is that with advanced oil? Or any kind of like modules? Oh, plus crack. Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. Okay, because I was like thinking my outpost had 3 yellow belts, and it was using pretty much a whole pipe. Which that would make sense, because it's almost double. So 1 yellow belt is 165 oil per second if we use cracking. So we'll say anywhere between 10 to 20 pipes of oil then, probably. Plus 1 for every. Of course, a lot of that is going to the outposts. So those need a full pipe anyway, just to get started. Yeah, we can. That sounds much more manageable than. It sounds more manageable than every other number we've used, right? It doesn't sound great, but it's no 75 belts of coal. One pipe is weird in Factorio. How much is one pipe? Um, yeah, that's also true. It's really hard to get more than like 1,200 through a pipe for oil. So that's about what I'm estimating that. Since I could realistically get one pipe to be about 1,200 oil per second in my outpost, without having to do a ton of pumps. So when I say pipe, that's about the number I'm using. There are tricks to get more, but they require you to use a lot of pumps and tanks and stuff. And I think in my situation, connecting two pipes ended up being easier than trying to do that. 1,200 is like 16 long segments. Yeah, so I'm using pumps and yeah, the oil in my outpost or any of the oil doesn't go very far. That's why I figured 1,200 is reasonable. Over longer distance, I think there's a problem, but yeah, that was just those are just estimates based on like practically what I was able to get out of my outpost without it looking really insane. Because we are limited in how many pumps we can use, so I didn't want to use too many. Okay, but we have this steel pipe. We also need the bricks. Okay, so this is technically bricks and stone, but it doesn't have to be. I don't think I have a use for bricks. Let's see, where's steel? Steel just has to go completely around here. Can it go through? Yes, if I move the gear belt, or the grenade belt. Okay, now it can go up. Okay, that's reasonable. This is fairly smart beltable. I don't hate that. You've tried to design 2K throughput rails to cracking recently. Yeah, that sounds rough. What is that? Why is there a burner inserter there? What is that doing? What are you doing? Go away. What's weird is that like I feel like offshore pumps are much better at saturating a pipe than like oil is. Maybe it's just because they output like 1,200 per second from themselves, but it feels much easier to get a double power plant that uses like 22,000 oil water per second than it is to get like a 1,200, or than it is to get like a 2,000 oil processing. It could just be because when you power it, it's just going boiler to boiler. Maybe that's what the difference is. The fact that you have one pipe input and then it goes through like 60 boilers or 40 boilers, as opposed to oil, which goes through a pipe for every single refinery. Yeah, that's definitely the difference, huh? Okay, but this steel is a little bit roundabout, but that's fine. These can no longer be here, though. Oof, that was unfortunate. Does this have coal in it? No, it does not. Okay. That's fine. We can live with that. We're just trying to smart belt here. Okay, so we do need bricks, but we also need stone. Because I said we needed to get stone furnaces. I guess I could just stop the stone, right? Like, I could have stone furnaces be produced here. Next to the stone? Does this output fast enough? I guess that's the real question. Actually, we won't... Oh, this is a very late build. Does it have any stone go through anyway? It actually doesn't even have stone going through. Also, there's going to be an iron lane here. I forgot there's going to be an iron lane here. So all of this stuff is going to be shifted up 6 tiles. But that's easy enough. But yeah, I need to not forget this is iron. That's why these furnaces are there. Now, so that means this would actually go here. Which means we can probably swing this. What the hell, and Sarson? And Arson. Welcome, welcome. I really want these to be the same belt. Because the stone lane going up here, there's really no reason. Okay, we'll send this through, and I imagine... Let's see, how do I mark this to say... I guess I get out a filter. And if I leave the filter, that's fine. If I change to a different method, that's also fine. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Okie dokie. Now I can send this straight through. Gosh, this is so expensive. That is very expensive. I mean, I guess it's only 21 undergrounds. And this is automating sign. Like, we don't need this lane until we get to red chips. So yeah, I guess it's not as expensive as it feels. It doesn't feel great. See, we can delete this. This needs to go here. And now we need to filter it out. So maybe I should just have two separate belts. It's just two belts gets expensive. Two belts would be 83, or no, 86 undergrounds as opposed to 43. Okay, so this needs to be filtered, and this needs to be filtered. Can I put steel on the other side? Not really. No. Not without a side load somewhere. If steel is on the other side, I could just send this straight through, but we cannot do that. Actually, is it important for me to have them both on the same belt? Gears and circuits together. It saves a splitter. That's the thing. It does save a lot of splitters, so it does. Yeah, it does matter. Also, this is not the order this should be in. Why do these keep reverting to? Oh, I remember now. Okay, so assembly machines first, and then chem plants, and then pumps. Not pumps, pump jacks. That's what they're called. And then refineries. Okay, I think this is a better order in terms of what I need. The only reason this is on its own is to save wasted belts, or wasted splitters. Okay, so yeah, I really do want these bricks filtered. Let's see, what are options? I guess we could do this kind of filter for now. Oh wait, that doesn't work. It's still on the wrong side. What about this? Okay, that works. I'll need to figure something out. This looks really annoying to build by hand. Like, it's technically okay, but it's pushing it. It's very much not... It's not a clean design, and I don't love that. Let's see, where do these go? Input, output. Okay, that should work. Now these all need to output onto this side. So one thing this is missing is... Actually, it's missing a lot of stuff. Also, I didn't copy it correctly. Okay. Okay, now they have outputs. Okay, so this can go there, this can go here, and then I guess we can just have the bricks. What are these? Okay, I see. Oh no, did we break things? Oh no. Oh no. Hopefully that's fine. Okay, we're good. We didn't cause some permanent error. Well, it didn't love that, but maybe it's fine. Let's see. Does it have conflicts? Oh gosh. That sucks. I did not remember how we fixed that. How did we fix that? We've had this error before. What if we just delete them on every stage that they're on? I thought it was an editor extensions problem. What else do we have? What else could be causing this conflict? What if we do a stage move tool? No. They're not on any layers. That's why I have no idea how to fix this. Yikes. Nope. I've got nothing. Maybe it'll fix itself on a reload. We could try a rebuild. The thing is, I don't really know what the problem is. Okay, we'll keep that there, but I think whenever I export stuff, this is good. Oh, we probably shouldn't have saved over that. Oh well. I mean, this is the only thing that's kind of problematic. Let's try rebuilding the stage. That might fix it. It probably won't, but if it does, that'll be very nice. We might just have to do that for everything. If we do that for each stage, I think it fixes it. Okay, yeah, I think it's not the end of the world. We've had issues like this before when we had the staged mod, but those were very much, they were not fixable. They like corrupted the whole save. We weren't able to fix them. Because when we clicked rebuild with that error, it deleted the entire building. It deleted my whole base, basically, which was very bad. Which is why we're going to save this as a different version, just in case it deleted very important stuff with that. Because I don't want to have to restart the whole base. That would be bad. But it seems decent. It was pretty obvious when the other one deleted it. It deleted, like, the entire base. Okay. So now the only thing we're missing, this needs regular inserter input. It is getting gears. Steel and circuits. Okay, so I think we just have to accept that this runs slower. How big are these files? Like 40 terabytes each? I wouldn't be surprised. I think they're getting close to like 250 megabytes. Let's see. Does it say here? Oh, wait. 42. I thought they were larger. Maybe that's my space exploration save. Yeah, that's not unbearable. The fact that I have so many, though, adds up. I actually was looking at my Factorio folder the other day. I have a very large Factorio folder. Because I just, as you can see by my saving system, I save a lot of duplicates of bases I don't care about. Like, I would say 95% of these are temporary archives that I didn't want to delete. Because sometimes we do go back to them, like up to like 5 or 10 versions ago. But I could probably delete some of them. I currently have 50 gigabytes of Factorio installs, if anyone's wondering. Now that does include a lot of things, but it's a lot. Let's see, what does it include? It's mostly space exploration and burner stuff, burner designs. It is 10 separate installations of Factorio. I keep a lot of different ones. Yeah, so 50 gigabytes for a 2 gigabyte base game. So we can probably say like 20 gigabytes are the base game then, and then 30 gigabytes of saves. But yeah, I keep a separate folder for every major playthrough, and then I just delete it when I'm done, and save the maps if I care about it. But because I streamed so many different runs, it would be very annoying for me to enable and re-enable things as I go, and that would mess with the replays a lot. So burner designing, space exploration, challenge runs, they all have separate folders, which is redundant in terms of space it uses, but it's not like 50 gigabytes is a ton. But it is funny that I just have 50 gigabytes of Factorio, and 20 of them are the game itself. So we need to get assembly machines to these. We have to accept that one of these sides is going to run slower. But which side? There might be something weird we can do with a splitter. Well, I guess it's not install, but it's the portable. But yeah, I have a separate one. I wouldn't say each one. It really depends on if I think I need to get a replay of it. So if I think I'll need to get a replay of the run, I'll make a separate one completely, because I need to keep it at the same version. Here, I'll send a picture of what my folder looks like in the Discord. These are all of my, let's see, I guess they can fit in Factorio. These are all of my Factorio folders. Challenges Copy and Invisible were both related to the Invisible run. One of them was a testing thing. They were both of those runs were for my Invisible run. And they were specifically to get footage for the run, for the video. And I kind of had to keep them as separate folders because it was really annoying to re-enable that mod because I had to change all the folder. I had to change the entities by hand or delete them every time. Or, well, I just swapped the file names, but I ended up just loading 2 separate instances. But yeah, that's how I keep Factorio managed. And that's just because I stream it. If I wasn't streaming it, I wouldn't care. But it makes it a lot more convenient. Streaming-wise. I'm perfectly fine sacrificing like 2% of my storage for it. On that drive. If that. Actually, I think it's on a 3 terabyte, so 1%. Less than 1%? No, less than 2. About 1.5. I do not see a great way to get... I don't see a great way to get assembly machines here that doesn't sacrifice build speed. Will we have build speed issues? I guess that's what it boils down to. Okay, so if we had 8, okay, we would have... This one has 5 from a single inserter. No, this one has 14 from a single inserter. Well, okay, I guess it's more like split. This has about 8, so it might be fine. Can't you do something like Factorio X mod directly folder name to run with the selected mods? It's not necessarily a mod thing. There's a lot more to it than just mods. Version number also matters. I have to keep the versions the same until I complete a run. So like anywhere from like 1 to 3 months, we can't update the game. But for some things, I want it up to date. And my internet is awful, so it's not like I can change versions frequently. But a large amount of it is config files, which I could change. But honestly, when you're getting to that stuff, like when you have to load a separate mod directory and a separate config directory, at that point, just spend the 2 gigabytes to have a separate folder, right? So like there are probably some options that could work. But I don't think they don't make it simpler, they just make it different. So I don't go with them. I don't like that, but I think it works fine enough. This doesn't have enough input speed. That's the issue with it. This will run really, really slowly. But yeah, oh, right, when I say replay, I mean, sometimes with recording stuff, when I want to make a video, it's nice to have access to the ability to use the replay button. Like if, for example, you didn't get like clear footage of your base, it's good for getting like screen caps of certain parts of the base. Like it might not be footage of the run, but it's good B-roll. So basically I just have to keep the version updated. I have to keep the version on hand until the video is fully done, which, yeah, means it might be a while between runs. But hey, it works. It's unconventional, but it works. I think Anti-Elites also has a bunch of folders. He's the one I got the idea from. Because he has a planning segmented running folder, all versions. Then I did that, but then I took it even farther. I wonder which one of us has more. Because we both have more than the average player. Yeah, this does work. Is there a better spot for this? Technically, a better spot would be here, and then I could have 2 of them. I'm not sure. This runs really slowly, that's all I know. But I guess with stack size 2, it runs decently, and we'll have stack size 2 probably before we need a ton of assembly machines, so maybe it's fine. Because let's see, this is a ratio of 3 to half, 5 to 1. Yeah, so this is definitely not running. It's not getting as... This is, I think, going to be gear limited? No, it's going to be steel and electronic circuit limited. Which makes sense, because, yeah, that's what it's limited by. Okay, so we can move it here. And then we can get 2 of them. That is an option. So that would require us to move this up It's not a great option though. Yeah, it's not fantastic. Don't know if that needs to continue. Is there another spot? Because the thing is, I still don't want to fill this spot. That's why it's not a great idea yet. See, are we getting enough pipes? We actually are getting enough pipes. That's very surprising. So these pipe assemblers actually produce all the pipe we need, as long as the steam engine isn't running full speed, which it won't be all the time, so that should be fine. Maybe this is fine. How much are we producing? 126 per minute. That's not right. Our base is re-enabled. Ah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, when we rebuilt the stage... Oh, my gosh. When we rebuilt the stage, it re-enabled all the entities. And this is the only way to check, like, production easily is rebuilding. Disabling the other stages, because they do run, like, all the time. Okay, this says we're producing 47 per minute. There's no way that's right. Absolutely no way that's right. That doesn't make sense. That makes more sense. I thought we had run it for a minute, but I guess we only ran it for like 2 seconds probably, or probably like 30 seconds. Okay, 15 per minute. Okay, that's manageable. Okay, so I think this is technically producing enough. And then, honestly, we do need this to stay producing assembly machines the whole time. So it's actually, it's not a bad thing that this doesn't consume as many blue assemblers as it can. Because I think later on in the base, we actually use gray assemblers in a lot of places. Because we end up being inserter limited or resource limited in a lot of different points. So we do save on assembly machines by using gray. And in that case, we do actually need this to have access to gray. Okay, this mall is pretty decent. It has everything we need, except for landfill. Hopefully it has it in high enough quantities. It's not great. Let's see, why is it... Okay, now we're not getting enough pipes. What's using most of our pipes? I guess that's the real question. Okay, maybe we have enough pipes now. Because we can do more pipes. Actually, we can totally do more pipes here. And that would go here, I think. Ooh, that's not going to run full speed. I guess it will eventually. We also do have access to blue assembly machines. They won't make that many things run faster, but they will make some run faster. But since we're largely limited by inserter speed, blue assemblers aren't like a 50% increase. They're usually like a 20%, maybe a little less. Okay, so that's more pipe, so hopefully these run better now. How fast are we producing all of this junk? 6 chemical plants a minute. 6 times 60, so that's what, 360 an hour? That is technically pushing it. No, this won't work. We need more. Let's see, what time is it? I think I have to get going soon. But I can probably finish them all at first. Okay, so we need more of these. And we need more of... Well, we don't need more of these. We need more chem plants, though. So I think we can just loop it around. Because it seems like we have plenty of pipes. Yeah, okay, so we'll loop it. This is going to be very expensive to build, but that's fine. At least it's fully automated. And then we need an output over here with more pipe. And then I said we needed more refineries as well. Refineries are a little bit trickier. I wonder if there's a clean way to get this brick over here. Actually, is there a clean way to do any of this? Clean is definitely not the right word. Like, what is this? What is that? Let's see. Inputs, and then 2 inputs here. Okay, so one of these should probably be like an underground. I think this is our best bet. This isn't terrible. It's not amazing, but it does the job. And this, like, even with how complicated this is, I don't think this takes a long time to build. It's just gonna have a very specific belt order. I think I want to fold this up, because this belt order is very complicated. If I put bricks and assembly machines on the same belt, I think things look a lot nicer. And then we can extend it horizontally. I think we'll have to shift the science over to the right. Shift science to right, or sorry, shift labs to right. Need more mall space. Yeah. Okay. So we need to shift the labs to the right if we want to keep these in a row. Because we can keep these in a row using splitters. Because the less this rotates, the better. So that would make it this wide. So we really don't need a ton of space. Also, those don't do anything anyway. We might as well get rid of them. Yeah, okay, I like that. I like the idea of moving these over. And it also lets us kind of prioritize things by alternating, which is always useful. Okay, so that goes there. Actually, that's not in the right spot. It's almost in the right spot. There we go, that's better. Okay, yeah, I can live with this. And then we have all this space down here, but there's really no point to make this like a double-sided mall. Okay, so this I wanted to delete. So I decided I wanted assembly machines and bricks to be on the same belt, which feels very bizarre, but I mean, if it works, it works. The real question is, does it work? I mean, it will work. And I think it is technically easier, just don't know how much easier. Okay, I think I want to do coal belts first. Yeah, this is gonna have a very, very weird build order. That's gonna be so fun to build. These splitters, splitter, and we have another one of these over here. Okay, and we could have the belt be shorter, but then it changes the prio, and I think the priority here is important because I want these to be roughly an even split. And then this goes one tile to the right, so we can have the output. Wait. Ah, all of the inserters are in the wrong spot. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was wondering how that got off like that. Okay, and then this is a straight line going into a belt. No idea what this is. Probably just a random box, yeah. Okay. This should produce a lot more refineries. And we probably don't need this many, but I think it's best that we have the ability to produce this many. I wonder if this split is decent. Yeah, okay, splitting... In terms of build speed, we have two options. We can put bricks and assembly machines on the same belt. And then we have to have a splitter for all of these. Or the other option is to have assembly, or sorry, first option is to have steel and circuits on the same belt. That makes these ones a lot easier to build. These two, these three are easier to build, but we have to do the weird splitting. We don't have to do weird splitting if bricks and stone are in the same belt. I think overall this actually has a better build speed. And does give us the option for future blue assembly machine production, which I like. Okay, I think this is fine. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit annoying to build by hand, but I think either way it's going to be annoying to build by hand. And I don't think we're that limited on build speed right now. Okay, so these will be straight rows. And then these are going to have to be built by hand. This part, these undergrounds are actually going to be very awful to build. Not looking forward to that, but it's a necessary evil, I think. And then this needs more coal, which makes sense. No idea what that is. Actually, what is that? Oh, it's an infinity chest. Yeah, we can delete that. That's just for testing purposes anyway. Might as well get rid of it. Okay, I think this is okay. What is it limited by? Actually, what is it limited by? Oh, it's limited by me backing up the belts. Yeah, that's problematic. Okay, how much are we producing now? I think 10 per minute is probably fine. And then later on in the run, we double it. Okay, yeah, this is more than enough. This is producing about 10 per minute, which is about 600 per hour. So it'll produce everything we need in like an hour or two. The main thing is I want them to have overproduction for burst productions because our buffers are not going to be that high, and we want to be able to compensate for things whenever things start to run low. Which is why I have so many burners here, because these will idle, and then we're going to spend like 1,000, and then they won't idle. And then while these are running full speed, these won't run for that long. So our options are either have a very slow production and very large buffers, or extra assembly machines and a little bit of an ability to recuperate the losses. But this is actually very okay. And honestly, I think if we move it down, it might be easier to build. I don't know how I'll make a note of that. Iron Lane and shift second half mall down. Because I feel like if we have more belts going up than we do have belts going straight. So if we were to shift this down here, it might be a little bit cleaner. But it's not going to make a huge difference if it does. But that's it for me. We'll be back tomorrow with space exploration. And then no stream on Monday. I do have an appointment, so we'll be doing Meme Run Monday on a Tuesday again, which I feel like we've had a lot of those. That's why it's Terrible Time Tuesday, because it's terrible that we have to change the time. We are continuing the... Wait, what one were we doing? No inventory. Yeah, so we just got a car in our no inventory run. And I'm not sure if we're actually going to use the car for inventory, because I think some people want me to not use it. Well, so we might just use the car for fast movement. But that is what we'll be doing this weekend. Hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.